I knew this poster for the Him movie existed before today. Okay, uncrazy going on at all. As I can see from the bottom of this poster, about a month ago, the Him movie dropped in theaters officially. This has been released. A lot of fans have been divided in terms of how they feel about the movie after leaving the theater. A lot of the division being caused by the controversial ending, where Cam essentially goes on to kill the fake Illuminati that offer him the same offer that was offered to Isaiah White before he went on to win his 7 championships with the Saviors. Cam thought, I'm too noble for this shit. I'm just gonna get y'all about the way right now, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And that's basically how the movie ended. I don't even think we got a post-credit scene or anything like that. Bro just kills him, then does the T-pose, and that's it. Yeah, pretty underwhelming if you ask me to. Now in the present day, still less than a month after the movie released, it's already been moved to streaming, but with an alternate ending and some deleted scenes that we didn't get to see in the movie. So in this video, I just want to come here and talk about the alternate ending, post-credit scene that we actually got in this version of the movie, compare it to its original, and determine which one I would have preferred to have made the final cut. If y'all like anything I gotta say all in this video, you already know what y'all gotta do. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. Let's talk about him and its new alternate ending. I had to look these alternate endings up on YouTube because Prime was asking me to rent or buy the movie, and I was not doing either of those things. You got me fucked up. So I went on YouTube, and there's like a whole playlist with the deleted scenes and the alternate ending there. So I just went ahead and watched those videos. Not gonna lie, most of the deleted scenes really did nothing for me. In this scene, we see Cam walking through the hallways, looking under the influence like he probably is. Stumbles into this room that has the head of a goat on it, and he decides to pick it up. When he does, he steps back from the table a little bit to see Marco's lifeless head laid right side up on that table. Now, obviously, his human reaction is, what the fuck? When did bro die? How did bro die? How did bro's head leave his body and end up on this table? But then he ends up laughing when Julia Fox's character comes in behind him and sees the exact same thing he's witnessing. Until he comes back to reality and realizes, yo, there's someone's head on that table. How'd this happen? What the fuck is going on? He just instantly injects him with the needle, knocking him out. I see why this scene didn't make the cut. Along with 90% of the deleted scenes we got with the ending. I've seen a lot of the reviews of people saying this movie reminded them of a long episode of Atlanta. And I was definitely picking up on those vibes watching those deleted scenes. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm glad that they did not make the cut. Now to talk about the actual alternate ending. In this ending, we see Isaiah watching Cam's post-game speech after the Saviors go on to win yet another championship. He's very beat up. Somebody got to give him his medication. Honestly, I'm not really sure why this is. Maybe after Cam beat his ass in exchange for everything that Isaiah had when he went out there on the floor. Isaiah not only lost his life, but even in the afterlife, he's still feeling all of the pain that he took in his long career just winning chips. And we know that that brother experienced a lot. I don't know, that's just one theory I have, because I can't really see why in the afterlife you moving like this. Yes, this is an alternate ending where I feel like Cam did sign the contract, so you might ask, how do we know Isaiah's dead? How do we know this isn't just Isaiah watching film like he always does, Chase Wall? Well, for starters, in the post-credit scene of this alternate ending, we got a reporter mentioning that Cam shouted out Isaiah, reminiscing on the good old days back at his spot. It really set the tone for the career he was about to embark on in whatever football league this is. I don't think it's the NFL. The reporter then highlights the short time that Cam and Isaiah spent together. You see Isaiah wearing that Saviors jacket even in this video. So if he were still alive, I can't see him not being there for their championship celebration. No matter how much he was hating on Cam towards the end of the movie, he loved the Saviors to his last breath. I'm sure if he was alive, he would have been there. Even if that wasn't enough for you, I gotta give major credits for whoever was setting up the visuals for this scene. Because after Cam gets done giving his post-game speech after they go on to win the Super Bowl, we see Isaiah start to break down. And as he's breaking down, we see this halo-looking thing come up above his head, indicating brother is an angel. He is past. He is deceased. He's beyond the grave. That's all I got on reasonings why I believe Isaiah is dead. I think it's pretty obvious that they still went on to fight in this version of the movie. And obviously, Cam came out on top. And clearly, he signed the contract because I don't think they would have won a Super Bowl in his first season if he did it. Very possible he could have, but I feel like if he didn't sign it, they would have just showed us that. And I think the whole point of this alternate ending is for him to do the opposite of what he did in the original movie, which was not sign a contract. If he doesn't sign a contract and goes on to win the Super Bowl, it's just like, okay, what was the point of the movie? He didn't really even need to sacrifice Isaiah necessarily if he was just going to go on and win the chip without signing the contract. One thing I liked about this ending was how Cam clearly is still keeping his family close, and he's not on that football timing that Isaiah was on, which is probably also another reason why Isaiah could have been crying, because Cam didn't necessarily have to sacrifice as much as he did to get to his position with the Saviors, winning them all that and chips, all that. Show that Cam is able to rise above everything that Isaiah had set for him. And yeah, even though he did sign that contract, he's still doing what he can to get shit out the mud and lean on his family when things is getting dicey. Then in the post-credit scene that's associated with this alternate ending, we got the reporter highlighting how Cam showed love to Isaiah. We got the Savior celebrating in the back before Cam locks in on the spinning football yet again. Who the fuck is setting off this football to spin like this? Reporter also highlights how just a year ago nobody wanted him, and now all of a sudden he's a Super Bowl champion, probably Finals MVP. I mean, the reporter even goes back to his attack, which happened right after he seen that football spin. I'm surprised he didn't get attacked in his damn locker room. I think this scene is more so showcasing the full circle moment in Cam's life right now, highlighting the difference a year makes and all that he had to sacrifice in order to get to this point. Now, yes, it's cute that he still got his family and his life supporting, unlike Isaiah, but he still had to kill Isaiah and then experience everything he did at his home. So it's not like Cam hasn't been through his fair share of trials and tribulations in this year. I'm glad that that was a key focus in this post-credit scene. Overall, honestly speaking, I do like this ending a lot more than the original. I will say I do wish we could have got an extra minute to a minute and a half of the alternate ending before Cam went on to win the Super Bowl, like maybe right after his fight with Isaiah, just to see what led him to sign his life away. What were the circumstances? What did they offer him? And what about his thought process now even allowed him to consider this offer they was giving him, as opposed to in the movie where he really didn't have a second thought about killing him right then and there, especially when he found out what his father was doing for him all these years. Like, for him to still sign the papers after finding out that his dad was essentially a part of all his success up to this point, knowing who Cam is, knowing that he prided himself of getting shit about the mud his whole life, just to learn that his life has really been handed to him and he still signed, them niggas would have had to been offering him max dollars and at least 10 chips on this contract. Other than that though, I feel like this ending was actually really good. They could have kept the deleted scenes, but this ending is a lot better than the original one. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Have you seen the alternate ending? What do you think it stacks up against the original? Do you think that this is the ending that they should have had for the movie? I know a lot of people are divisive about him, but I feel like if this was the ending, a lot more people probably would like the movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not perfect, but it's not whatever the fuck that original one was. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll be your host, Chase Harville. We've been entertained, and we're gonna talk soon. Peace out.